Alright, this is our first video for two-dimensional motion, and today we are going to be dealing with vectors. Vectors do two things. They describe magnitude and direction. And we're going to add some vectors together. So let's say you walk 9 meters to the north, and then you turn right and do another 12 meters to the east, and you want to find your total displacement away from the origin. To solve this problem, we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. So we're going to say a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So we want to find this value here. So we're going to take 9 squared plus 12 squared is equal to c squared. So 81 plus 144, 81 plus 144 equals 225. So 225 all under the radical is equal to c. So c equals 15 meters. So my total displacement was 15 meters. So when you're adding them together, you just add both sides of the square using the Pythagorean theorem and then take the square root in order to solve. Another type of vector is doing the opposite. So here, for projectile motion, you have an object that has an initial velocity of 20 meters per second. And it is launched at an angle of 60 degrees above the horizon. In order to solve these problems, you need to break it down into its x and y components. So here we're going to solve for v sub x and v sub y. To do this, we are going to use our old trig, so, ka, toa. First, we're going to solve for v sub y. In order to solve for v sub y, I'm looking for the component that is opposite to the hypotenuse. So the sine is opposite from the hypotenuse. So in order to solve for v sub y is equal to the hypotenuse, which is 20 meters per second, times the sine of 60 degrees. So here we take 60 times the sine, and that gives us our value or percent, and then we multiply that by 20, gives me an answer of 17.32. Now to solve for v sub x. So v sub x, I'm looking for the adjacent component of the same triangle. So here, cosine, adjacent, and hypotenuse. So v sub x is equal to, again, 20 meters per second times the cosine of 60 degrees. So here, 60 cosine gives us 0.5. times 20 meters per second gives us 10 meters per second. So in the end, v sub y equals 17.32, and v sub x is just equal to 10.